Hi, welcome to RCR Horsemanship. I'm Cory Furlong, and today I'm here with Tracy and Percy, and we're going to show you a lesson in the round pen. So Tracy is my awesome barn owner. She takes care of all my horses and I absolutely adore her. And she reached out to me recently because she was having some issues with her horse in the round pen. And so today we're going to work on that. But before we do, I want to just talk to you about your horse, how old she is, her breed, a little bit about her, whatever you want to share, and then we'll talk a little bit about the issues you're having.
All right, well, she's a Missouri Foxtrotter. She's 10 years old. We bought her from Missouri, and she's great up in the mountains, and she struggles in the round pen.
Okay, so when you say struggle, what do you mean?
She doesn't really want to be in the round pen. She'd rather be outside the round pen. She pins her ears and kind of throws a little bit of a temper tantrum.
Yeah, so I did see yesterday that she was kind of bucking and kicking, and you did say that if she has been worked consistently, then that kind of goes away, but no matter what, she's kind of looking on the outside of the round pen. She's tried to jump the round pen, so the round pen is a pretty big issue. So we're gonna have to be pretty aware of the height of our round pen and making sure that we don't have her jumping out. But hopefully we're gonna get a little bit more focus. So for those of you who saw my last video where I was, well, not my last video, but the last lesson video with Alex, we kind of had the opposite issue in the round pen where the horse didn't want to keep moving. And this horse has a problem of she only wants to move. So we struggle to get her attention. We struggle to get her to change directions. And so you're going to see a lot of similarities between the work that I did with Alex and the work that we're going to do today, but it's going to be a very different personality horse. So a lot of you might find this relatable as well. So why don't we go ahead and get started? I'll have you start by just showing how you usually would work her.
Okay.
And then I'll hop in and I'll show you some techniques that I would use to fix this.
All right, sounds great.
All right, let's get started.
Sounds good.
I wanted to show you guys the day before we actually filmed this video. Tracy was working her horse here in the round pen, and I just want to take note of a couple of things. So first of all, Tracy told me that she had her horse on a lunge line because she was concerned that it was going to jump the fence, and so she keeps it on a lunge line to keep it inside. Also, obviously, we see head shaking, and as the horse comes around here, we get a nice little buck. This was probably about 15 minutes into Tracy working this horse in the round pen the day before. So you can see that the horse is still looking to the outside. At times, Tracy was actually getting kind of drug around the round pen on that lunge line. And the horse was completely disregarding any pressure, any cues. You can see the inconsistency in the horse's gaits. And at times, it really caught my attention when Tracy was working the horse this day because it really was bucking and kicking relatively violently, not necessarily at Tracy, but just, you know, expressing her frustration with the situation. And in a second here, we're going to see a direction change, and you'll see that Tracy has to pull on her horse pretty significantly, and this is actually a better direction change than what had happened previously. So there were other times that Tracy would pull and the horse would pretty much disregard it for a while and then eventually would go ahead and turn around. So this was actually better. And I noticed that Tracy seemed to sometimes avoid the direction change until the horse had gotten some of this energy out and had started to slow down a little bit, maybe out of being a little bit tired. So I just wanted to show some of this so you can see the before, what we were working with, some of the concerns that we had before we actually started working. So now you will get to see how we worked on this. Okay. So what I'm noticing is that we don't have much speed control.
Right.
She's looking to the outside of the round pen a lot. She's pretty cranky. This is one of those horses that it might look more dramatic than it is at first, and it'll come around. So we got to trust the process a little bit. We're going to take her, we can take her halter off. We don't need to have it on at all.
All right.
Especially because your area is very secure.
Yep.
So we don't need to worry about her if she did jump the round pen.
Okay.
We'll be able to get her back. So let's go ahead and take the halter off. I'll have you step out, and I'm just going to show you how I'm going to start this.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you did say that she might not like the whips.
Yep.
I'm not too terribly worried about it with any horse. I just need to be aware of how I use them. So I have my long whip here so that if I need to make contact at a distance, I can do that. But if I have a horse that's getting too close, I have my second whip. Part of this, for this exercise, you really only need this one, but muscle memory for me, I like having two.
Sure.
I feel like I'm just more effective with two. So if you're more effective with just one, that's also fine. But I do like this, especially for a horse that might be sassy, that has a history of kicking out. I want to be able to create distance here. Whereas the flag, if I need to make contact with the flag, we might have some trouble.
Right.
So I'm first going to ask her off. Go off. I'm not expecting speed control right now. But one of the first things that I noticed yesterday was that that she's constantly looking to the outside, and we don't have much of direction control. So it's hard to stop her, it's hard to change directions.
Right.
So if she's running off, one of the worst things we can do is let her just do it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice direction changes where I'm gonna sweep my whips in front, step in front, and then I'm gonna put energy right at that shoulder. Once she changes directions, I kind of back off and I'm just gonna guide her around again. I'm going to do these direction changes where the round pen is taller for safety because we know that she's been a jumper before. Sweep in front, step in front. Good. So notice how I'm not too worried or too offended if she's kind of dramatic. Mm-hmm. I'm being a little bit more demanding of her. And now we're seeing that kind of bolty side of her. Yep. So what you're gonna see now is I'm gonna make quick work of this. And I'm gonna teach her that running off to the next thing actually isn't that fun. There's nothing over there that's gonna be very fun for her. And she's gonna start to realize that running off doesn't do her any good. So I'm interrupting that pattern of behavior.
Sure.
Running off is no fun. Interrupting the pattern of behavior so that she's not getting a release as she goes to bolt there. And what will start to happen is she'll get a little slower and a little slower. No, ma'am. Now here we gotta watch the jump. So here's how I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna loop around to that shoulder and try to get in front of her eye. Send her off. There we go. So if I notice that the jumping is gonna happen, I have to position myself kind of behind her. There we go. Change directions. So if I get too far in front of her shoulder as I'm driving her, that's more likely to get her to want to jump that round pen. So by staying a little bit further behind her, I should discourage it. Now, if I was super concerned, I would have you standing on the other side of the round pen with a flag. Mare, don't you do it. So if we get really concerned about it, we're gonna have you stand there with a flag so you can wave that flag at her face and just give her a block. Good. But we're gonna keep interrupting this pattern of behavior with direction changes. Lots of direction changes. Good. And my hope is that we get a little slower and then we can start to think. Mare. Good. So see how I'm kind of angling myself at that shoulder? Good. Good. And for everybody watching, we're going to be keeping in mind this is a gaited horse. So if you see irregularities in her gait, it's because she's gaited. So if she goes between the pace, the gait, the trot, and the lope, that is really normal. That is not a soundness problem. There, so we're getting a little slower. Now the next thing I'm gonna do, it's called catching the eye. For anybody who's watched my Introduction to Liberty series, this is in there if you want a more detailed explanation. And Tracy, I'll definitely give you plenty of guidance on this as you start to do it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna step in front of the drive line with my shoulder to cut off the forward motion, but I'm gonna keep my whips behind, essentially trying to drive her up into my shoulder and get her to stop and turn and look at me. So I'm gonna drive her around. I think we'll start on this side. I'm gonna cut off her drive line, say, no, we're still gonna go that direction. So that's not the answer. I'm asking her to stay on the same eye, but we're gonna see if she can turn and look at me. And notice we have a lot more sensitivity for the direction change, which is good. Good. Oh, we almost had the thought. No, ma'am. Good. Okay, so it might be hard to see. There. But I'm getting just a hint of her looking at me. So I'm releasing every time she thinks about looking at me. Being mindful of the fact that we are right by an easy to jump spot. So if we had a taller round pen, I would maybe push this a little harder. But right now, there. Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Did you see the eye? Mm-hmm. Oh, good. So what I'm trying to do here is create a cue for paying attention. Sure. When I add pressure, I want her to look at me. I don't want to release pressure and beg her to come in. Right. I want to push her to want to come in. Right. That way, when I go to put on a leg when I'm riding, now my horse is thinking pressure equals focus. Oh. So that also, my leg's going to mean something else. But the first thing when I add pressure that I want my horse to think about is look at me and what do you want? I don't want my horse to be reactive and just running off, which is what she's doing. Right. She's just reacting. So Liberty work is such a great foundation because all it is refining groundwork with the idea of wanting our horse to work fluidly with us, with intention, without resistance, and with that element of partnership, looking to us as their leader. Good. Now, one huge misconception about Liberty is that we're looking for this like equal partnership. And the problem with looking for an equal partnership is that then they have an equal say in what we do. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily want my horse to have an equal say if they want to go across the street, but it's really busy. I don't want them to have an equal say about everything. If there's a cliff on one side and something spooks them on the other, they don't have an equal say. I need to have a say. I need to have the ultimate say because of safety. It's purely a safety thing. That doesn't mean I don't have a good relationship with my horse, but that means I have a leadership relationship with my horse. Mm-hmm. But the leadership relationship is very similar to herd dynamics. A lead horse, right? They want to follow. They want to follow that lead horse. They want to follow that confident one. So what she's kind of telling us right now is that she's saying, well, I don't really trust the leadership. I need to take control of the situation. I'm going to add some pressure here. Notice how I'm not pushing her. I'm not doing anything mean. Just saying, hey, getting her attention, pushing her to think. She's like halfway looking at you, halfway looking at me. She's like, Mom, are you going to help me now? There. So every time she goes to look into me, notice I'm dropping my whips, I'm dropping my shoulders, and I'm stepping away from her. I'm not begging for anything. Right. I'm not mad if she wants to run off. Right. I'm just saying it's not the greatest life decision. Right. It's going to work a lot better in here for you to just focus on me. So all of those direction changes, that's going to break that pattern of thinking of like, I'm going to blindly run. Just going to go, 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 go. Right. And then once I have those direction changes, now I've controlled that direction. Right. That's a great start that I have control of that direction so that I have the sensitivity to stop my horse and get them to think about catching the eye. Then they're gonna get relaxation from me as they go to look into me. I'm gonna go ahead and do that exercise again. And I'm gonna start this just on one side. Notice how I'm demanding of that. I'm not mean, but I'm gonna say we're staying on this eye. You can think about me. We can work together. That's not it. Being over the round pin, isn't it? There. Being over the round pin, isn't it? It's not it, not it, not it. Definitely not it. What a lot of people hear me say is good life decisions and bad life decisions. I would like to make a good life decision today. No, ma'am. Made a little contact with her butt there. Just let her know that wasn't it. Whoop. That's not it. Keep trying. It wasn't perfect, but she didn't have her head over there. Little wins.
Little wins.
Little wins.
Yeah, good job.
So with a horse like this, I may only in one session do direction changes and catch the eye on one side. Then I might try the next day or later on in the day to catch the eye on the other side. We'll see how far we can get with her.
Okay.
She's smart. So there's a chance that she might it might click into gear and she goes, this is actually really nice. This is a heck of a lot less stressful. And she might just decide that she wants to do it. Some horses do that.
Yeah.
But with her, her striking out in those behaviors, it may not happen all in one day.
Yeah.
So this could be a fun one that if we, keep filming and keep following, this would be a really fun one to kind of see the progress.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think we are going to see some cool stuff out of her. But my guess is, even though, you say she's pretty good on the trail, my guess is that she still isn't perfectly engaged or content. She might be more confident because that's what she knows. Oh. Would you like to try again? That was a very poor life decision. There. I got a hint. She gave me the look. There. I'm not that mean. I'm actually really nice. You and I could be really good friends. That ain't it. Good girl.
Nice.
Good. I'm gonna be out of breath. One thing that I've gotten from Dan James, and he's very right, is you can do Liberty in any size area. It's all about how fit you are and how fit you want to be. This is a large round pen. I love it, but it gets you running. So for anybody watching that's like, what size round pen should I have to start Liberty? 40 foot. How big is this one?
I'm not sure. I think it's double, if not triple.
I was going to say it's probably like at least 70.
Yeah,
There we go.
It's all about go big or go home.
Yeah. Good. So she's starting to look into me a little bit more slowly. And what the camera may not pick up, but I'm sure you can see, is you see those little hints of the eye actually moving. And sometimes Liberty has to be that subtle. And I think all of training should be that subtle.
Right.
It's not about the action, it's about where their thoughts are going. So she always keeps one ear kind of looking inward, but for the most part, all of her thoughts are outward. So when I see that eye kind of soften and look into me, I want to reward that because I know that's where her brain is thinking.
Sure.
And that's far more important than how much I can move her body.
Right.
There. So did you see how when she started off, she actually gave me that little, a little hint of the head moving in towards me?
Yep.
Good, see, right there. She keeps doing that. I want to make sure she gets moments of rest while she's doing that.
Sure.
Because I don't want this to be stressful, but we do need to change that pattern of behavior and be more demanding of her and say, I'm not okay if you strike out at me, if you kick at me.
Yeah.
When we're changing directions, I want you to just fluidly go off. And if you just, when I flip my whips over here and you go off, we're good. I'm not going to bother you.
Yeah.
But to get there, we need to be able to push her appropriately. And that's where I think the whips come into play, because you saw how I was able to touch her when she went and struck at me, and then she went to kick at me. Good. 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 She went to kick at me and I was able to get her again.
Yep.
Give her a tap. I'm not cracking a whip down on her hard, right?
Yeah.
It's far less than what horses do to each other. It's just that little reminder of like, that's not okay.
Right.
I'm not going to tolerate that. I have to be a leader here and say that that behavior does not keep either of us safe. Good. Good. Very nice. And what'll start to happen is the more focused they get, the calmer they get. Because when you are anxious, you're worried about the future. When you're depressed, you're thinking about the past. And when you're fully present, you're at peace.
Right.
And so by focusing on where her attention is, bringing her attention constantly back to me,
Right.
she's going to start becoming present. She's going to start relaxing because she's going to be so focused on what's going on here. Doesn't matter what's going on out there. Doesn't matter what's happening around her, what could happen.
Right.
It's about what is happening in the moment. And then when we start to guide them and say, hey, I want to add pressure, they're so focused in the moment. They're like, this starts to mean something. It's not so scary. They're not so reactive because their brain isn't somewhere else when we go to tell them, hey, move something. And they go, where did that come from? But if they're focused on us, we say, okay, move a shoulder. They go, I'm not necessarily sure what you want, but I can see it coming. And they'll start to realize that like, oh, every time you lift up your flag or you lift up your whip, you're not smacking them. That's not scary.
Right.
Right? It's just a guide. It's just saying, hey, I just want you to move that off. And they go, oh, I can do that. So what I think we'll do is I'm going to work her for a little bit. And we'll come back on the video in just a moment after I've worked on this for a little bit and see where we end up today. Okay. So I've been working her for a couple minutes. And one thing that I just wanted to start filming is that she's doing a really common move where when turning away didn't work, they go to turn in really quick. And I want to show what we're going to do for that. But if the horse goes to turn in, I'm going to back off a little bit and give them a little release. But if they go to run off the other direction, I'm going to go back to controlling the direction. So I want them to start to understand that turning in was correct, but going the other way was not. So we'll see if she does it again, but that's a pretty cool idea that she had. Nope, that's not it. Remember what worked? There, she's looking at me. I'll give it to her. We're starting to push her just a little bit more. A little more. Nope. So we'll see if she does that turn in again. My guess is that she will go for that one more time. We'll drive, control the direction, catch the eye. Hey, 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 hey. Good. Remember, there. So that little step in was because I released when she stepped in before.
Yep.
No, ma'am. A lot of thoughts going on, which I appreciate. There. And then there's that turnaround where I'm just going to go to control the direction again. So she got a release as she turned in, but then I just go back to controlling the direction. There. And my hope is that she's going to get the idea that the turn in is correct, but she'll turn in and stop next time. Okay, go to catch the eye. Focus, Mare. Come on. There we go.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Good, Mare. And look at that nice lick and chew. She discovered something. That's exciting.
That is very exciting.
Very good. Whew, I'm gonna need a breather too. So if you were doing this on your own and you got to that point, definitely done.
Yeah, come a long ways.
That's a great moment.
Yeah, it is.
What we could end up doing is say we're gonna give her a little bit of a break to think on that. I can step out of the round pen, give her a break, I could work another horse and then come back to it and do that for another 15, 20 minutes and see what she remembers, just kind of reinstill it, but give her a break. Breaks are very valuable.
Sure.
Rest points are really valuable. I don't want her to think that I'm just gonna come in here and make her move and exhaust her, because that's not effective. I just wanna get her brain, I wanna get her thinking and get to a point where she's gonna think about me and be a little bit more comfortable.
Right.
Good girl. Focused on me. This is a great example of a horse that hasn't necessarily been taught to think, but has been trained on reactions.
Oh, well, that explains a lot, actually.
So the first time that she's being asked to think, she's doing this without any guidance of like mechanics.
Yeah.
She has to fully use her brain, and this is not easy.
No.
This is not easy to think about. It's not easy to look to a person for guidance when all they've done is push her. And it's not that anything has been done so dramatically wrong, but you can tell for a sensitive horse that it's been hard on her brain.
Right.
Good, nice ideas. Yeah.
You know, she is really smart and
She's
she really
very
wants
smart.
to please you.
Yeah,
She just doesn't know.
yeah.
You know, and I don't know how to teach her to
Yeah.
do what you're doing, you know.
Well, and the thing is, you've got really good mechanics. So when you ride and when you do stuff, it's like you know where to put your body to get the action that you want. It's just refining that to now understanding how to get the brain where you want.
Right.
Because you can get the body where you want it, but then it's like, well, now my brain is over here, my body's going the right way, but the brain's over here. And then if this weren't a gaited horse, and I don't know what she's done before under saddle, but if this weren't a gaited horse, this would be the type of like running bred quarter horse that would like grab the bit and run off because the brain's going somewhere else,
Right.
or could possibly blow up. Gaited horses have a tendency to not do that. They're just nice horses.
Oh, yeah.
So just, you know, I really like training gaited horses because they rarely buck. They rarely do anything too dramatic. Like this is, you know, one of the more dramatic gaited horses I've seen. And even still, it's like,
Yeah.
not the worst I've seen. Just gonna see if I can get her to think about me again. Good. Unfortunately, my whip timing was a little off there. So notice how instead of reacting to pressure, we're thinking about thinking with pressure.
Yep.
And this particular move of pushing the hind end but being in front of the drive line, there's pretty much no other situation that we're gonna do this. So I'm not worried about messing up other driving cues or anything like that. I'll still be able to drive her around as you've seen. I'm not gonna screw anything up with this. She's reluctant to look in at me, but she knows that's the answer. Good.
That was good.
Good, that foot followed her thoughts.
It did.
That was kind of cool.
That was very cool.
Good girl. I think she'll benefit a lot from this.
Oh, she's never done that without me like yanking on her. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, all by herself. Like obviously you're encouraging her, and you're releasing the pressure when she does what you're asking her to do, and you're not. It's all on her.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
How is she to catch?
She's good.
She's good?
Yeah.
That's good. Is she
Yeah.
the kind that wants to just stand there and let you come up to her?
For the most part, and she'll
Okay.
put her halter on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She comes running to you.
That's
really.
nice.
Yeah. Maybe
So
after
she
this,
wants to do the work. She wants to please.
She does.
She really, and
Yeah.
you can see that. I mean, she's
Yeah.
she's a really smart horse. She doesn't want to be
No.
feeling anxious. She doesn't want to be snotty.
No.
At
I
all.
think she's just got away with that because
Yeah.
people didn't know how to like do this.
Yeah. Well, and horses don't necessarily try to get away with things the way that humans might. So what she's doing is, this is what's benefited me before.
Sure.
So that's all she's thinking about is like, okay, what's benefited me in the past is if I run around in circles for a while and then the human is happy and we move on. Right? That's what she's thinking about. So like if she struck out at somebody and it worked, they backed off, why wouldn't you do it again?
Absolutely.
That's why this whip is so valuable, because if she goes and she strikes out at me, I have distance between, and I can sit here and target practice. So this was in my last video, but I target practice trying to hit a certain spot, both backhand and forehand, and being able to hit that spot. So if I want to hit the shoulder, I can hit the shoulder if she strikes out. If I need to hit the butt, I can hit the butt if she kicks.
Right.
Right? If I want to move a shoulder, I want to touch the shoulder. If I want to move the hip, I'm going to touch the hip. If I'm going to move the rib cage away, I want to touch the rib cage. So being able to actually make contact, this makes a lot of sense to them.
Absolutely.
And it's so much more effective for a horse like her that if we're concerned that she's going to strike out or kick or something, I would like to be able to make that contact and be super effective instead of having this flag in my hand where I flag that she strikes out and I have to go, oh gosh, and back up.
Right.
Because it's too short. That was really nice. I think you can do more though. Good. Oh, we had thoughts and we got scared. Oh man. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. Hi. Good. There. So I like that wasn't nearly as stiff and forced.
Right.
The way that she softened and bent her head towards me, whereas before she kind of moved her whole body, she's like, this worked. But she kept that rigid tension.
Yep.
Seeing her really bend and relax,
Yep.
that's a really good thought.
Yeah.
Can we do that thought again? Good. And notice how this has gotten less and less about moving her.
Right.
And I can just sit here and do this. And what's funny is I had a little paint horse that I was training, and she was so cute. She was like far more scared of people, but similar issues. And when she started figuring it out, she would sit on the outside of the round pen doing this because she couldn't, like she wanted to think so badly, but she like couldn't actually relax and stay focused. So she was like, I'm thinking I can't, I'm thinking I can't. And she would just sit there back and forth on the outside of the round pen until I finally got her to just, all right, we're gonna breathe.
Yeah.
And she ended up being actually a nice little Liberty pony. Good.
Oh, that was good.
So she's still, you can see that little bit of tension that she's like, I'm not quite sure I want to fully engage with this. It's a little scary. Oh, bad life decision. All right, we'll get you moving. Get back to the spot where I know you can't jump out. Good, good. That was better thoughts. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
That was really good.
This is so much better. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She wouldn't do that before. She would put her head over the fence. But I can't talk.
So my hope is when I start to add pressure, that there. I came into me.
Yep.
So the hope is when I add pressure, she goes to think. Doesn't mean she doesn't yield away from the pressure,
Right.
but that she actually looks in and thinks at me. And if I change position a little bit, maybe we'll think, good, I got a little ear and an eye and it's hard. Oh, that's hard to do. How did it happen?
Oh, that was nice.
It's really good. There, that was better.
Yep.
So my hope is that in this position, what's going to happen is she's going to stay focused on me. And as I drive her from this position, it'll move her hip. Oh, big yawn. Good release. That it would move her hip. And I can get her to kind of curve around me to the point where I end up on the outside of the round pen and she's on the inside facing me.
Oh.
Then I will know that I have fully succeeded.
Oh. Okay.
So there, see how she's coming off the round pen a little?
Mm-hmm.
She's not just running straight off.
Yep.
So this is where it gets really tough for them to be able to stay focused on the person that has been a little bit scary while they're moving from pressure. But if she can do this, then I think we can get her around the round pen looking at us.
Absolutely.
And not jumping out.
Yes.
Thanks. So I'm going to catch the eye there. Good.
That's really good.
How cool is that?
It's very cool.
What a good horse. Big lick and chew.
She's day and night.
And I would say that this is probably a good place to end.
Yeah.
So this would be a good spot to end on this session. But what I'd love to do is continue working with you guys and help you get this horse accomplishing this a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And then get you doing it. But I think right now she needs so much support from that timing that without your muscle memory, it's going to be kind of hard to get it from her.
Sure.
So this is a great thing to practice with your other horse that doesn't have as many issues.
Okay.
And good girl. Hi, friend. So practicing with the other horse, and then you and I'll have you kind of practice the moves with me as the horse. And then that's how we'll conclude today.
Okay, cool.
But for her sake, we'll grab a halter.
Okay.
I'm going to drop these. I'm going to go see if she wants some love. And I'm going to try to see as I come and approach her if she'll keep an eye on me and an ear. So she's kind of looking at you there. But I want to see that she still wants to engage as I approach her. And I'll approach at the shoulder because it's not very intimidating. So I'll approach shoulder to shoulder, just trying to get her attention. Good. This is how I gentle Mustangs, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So you get them to do that, and then you get that first touch like that. Oh, there it is.
Aww.
There it is. I have a friend.
You do have a friend.
Hi, my love.
She's a good girl.
Hi. Yeah, this stuff goes pretty good, doesn't it? Hi. Good girl. Come on in.
A good girl.
You did great.
She's a pretty girl. Yeah, you can help me.
So I think that's where we're going to stop for this video, but I think what we're going to do is we'll come back in the next few days. We'll try to film some more of her progress, but I'm really excited about where she left off.
Yeah.
I want to hear what your initial thoughts are, because this is the first time you've seen me start Liberty and on your own horse. So what are your initial thoughts?
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, to see where she started from to where she ended is a completely different horse.
Yeah. She's gotten very relaxed, and then seeing her want to follow me at the end there is pretty special.
Yeah.
So I think she's a little bit nervous about those whips, and so by dropping those whips and kind of concluding our session, she seemed to take a deep breath and say, okay, I'll follow this person, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for letting me, work with your horse, and for everybody out there, we will be filming more with this horse. So follow for the next parts, and we'll see you in the next video.